Hey everybody, what's up? This is Flash001 USA. It is March 15th, 2016, around 5 p.m., somewhere in the neighborhood of that, and spring is in the air, guys. Anyhow, other than coming out here and looking at all the blooms on the trees, that'll probably gonna make me sneeze tonight if I sleep with the window open, including this guy right here. My building, my shop, shall be arriving here any moment now. They've already got it put together. It's a prefab building. It's going to be a 12 by 16, so there's going to be plenty for what I need. Plus, I'll be building onto it so I can run my solar and my wood gas on the other side of it. But they'll be coming up here shortly, and I'll bring you guys in on the Hollywood action when they bring it in. So take a standby. I just got a call from the people delivering the building, and it is actually en route now, guys. I'm going to take a moment and show you where I'm actually going to be placing it. Now, if you remember from some of the past videos, especially my very early ones, I had like a really big mess out here on this driveway, this carport right here. And I had a old van. It was pretty much wore out. It would still drive, but I didn't want to take it out anywhere. I just didn't trust it. I had my 6x12 trailer loaded full of musical equipment. And of course, I had a bunch of barrels and everything else out here. And this was actually my work area. And buddy, it looked rough too. But it's taken me some time, but I got everything all cleaned up. I got rid of the old van. I've got a new van right now. It's not brand new, but it's a pretty good used van. I've got it in shop, having them do all the touch-ups on it and tune-ups and all that good stuff for me. And I also replaced my trailer with a smaller trailer. I've got a 5x8. It's a more modern trailer, much lighter, with electric brakes also. And I'll be using that to haul the musical equipment around with, along with other miscellaneous projects. So, I'll have all that probably in about 2 weeks. That's when they'll have the trailer ready, and I should actually have my van back ready tomorrow. But, now with that out of the way, I'm going to be putting the building over here. I've actually got it marked. I did the corners right here, so it would take some of the guesswork out of it. It's got right there, here, and right here, guys. So I'm going to place the building up here. I kind of like the idea of putting it up here on this concrete slab. I just feel that it'd make it a lot better putting it right here as far as any kind of water issues or flooding issues. I didn't want to put it on the grass anywhere out here. I just kind of wanted to keep my yard open. And I'm not a guy that gets out here and plants flower beds or anything like that. As a matter of fact, to me, weeds look nice if they're cut with a lawnmower, okay? So, you didn't hear me say that. Well, anyhow, I've got it set up for the building, and as soon as it gets here, what I'm going to do is I'll zoom the camera in on them, let you see them bring it in, and I'm probably going to throw this on the tripod and record the whole thing while they're setting it up, and I'll edit it out and speed some of the video up so I can keep the video as short as possible. So any moment, these guys will be riding down the road, and I'll kick the camera back in for you. All right, everybody, the building has arrived. It's about 7:30, so they got held up. We got the two work trucks here. There's one guy pulling in here, or going around him, I guess. That's the building. Pretty damn cool. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and record these guys setting this up. And Bill, this goes out to you, since you said, hey, why don't you go ahead and make a video of this? So here you go, man. I wouldn't want to have his job, because I'm telling you right now, guys, my driveway is tighter than Dick's hats, man, to get into. I'm sure they're used to delivering stuff out in the country. He'll probably pull forward into the neighbor's driveway and then go ahead and build the back end straight with well, I don't know, he may get it. Let's see what he does here. Nope. He did a damn good job on that. I still wouldn't want his job, though. What I'm going to do right now is I'm gonna go ahead and, as promised, give you guys the Hollywood version of this thing being set up as he scrapes by this tree here. Let's see here. I'm gonna throw it on the tripod for everybody. I'm not sure he understands where I want the building put. Hold on one second, man.
What's going on, man?
I remember meeting you down there. I'm gonna come down and talk to you about it. All right. Appreciate what you're doing. This is the slab I'm gonna put it on here. I kind of marked it off. I mean, this is actually a 16 by 20 where I marked it off at. I think that it's around like this. Yeah, I guess it's drive up to the yard. That's why we were asking about being on the driver's side. You come in, you've got a full board, and then back up right here. We'll have to do that. And the way I set this up, or my rendition of the way I want it, is put it up here. I'll come in like this. I put it in this way right here. And that gives me a little room to be able to get through the weeds. It's only going to be software that's with the air conditioning turns on. Everything else is even right. You have to put in software. Alright, let's give it a go. Okay. I gotta hand it to you, cutting in backwards with that thing, man. Trust me, I've seen utility people always have food bars out there. Actually, guys, this is pretty cool. All right, I'm back, and I brought the sunshine with me. Let me give you the nickel tour, and I'm also going to explain to you how I'm going to handle this project to finish it up. The last video that I uploaded on YouTube, which was the snowstorm video, I know that I had mentioned that I was going to put a shop up out here, and I think that I had mentioned that I was going to extend it on the back, and I am going to extend it. And the guy that actually set the building up, he's going to come out here and moonlight one Saturday with me to tie into this and extend this roof out. I'll either bring it out 6 or 8 feet, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to tie in right where the shingles are so that the shingles will continue on out so it'll look like one continuous run. Now, I am going to enclose part of it. That I'll do on my own, but this is what I plan on doing with it. On this side right over here, I'll either come off of this and enclose it. It'll either come out 4 or 6 feet, and then I'll bring it lengthwise out either 8 or 10 feet. I haven't made my mind up. But basically, it's going to be a room that encloses the deep cycle batteries, the solar controller, and the solar panels. I don't plan on setting up the solar panels outside as a permanent fixture, and I'll explain that why I'm going to go that route here in a second. But basically, the part that's not going to be boxed in, I'm going to pour concrete and make me a concrete slab down here, and that's where the wood gasifier will go. That's going to be used as one of the charging systems for the deep cycle batteries. Now, if you remember about a year ago, when I was making all those upgrades to my gasifier, I had mentioned that I got a 6.5 horsepower motor, and it's either 155 or 165 amp alternator that's got the regulators and everything built into it. I've already got the pulleys and everything to build that up with, and that's going to be my system that will also be allowed to charge the batteries up. So I'm going to have 3 modes to charge this up with. The worst case scenario would be, I don't know, let's say we had the attack of the squirrels and they all decided to get on the power lines and drop all the power lines down for whatever reason, or, you know, bad storm or something. If we lost the power for a month or so, then I'll use the solar panels as a means to charge everything up. They'll be basically portable. They'll have stands. They'll be able to be set up and aimed toward the sun and actually put up when not in use. But mainly, I'll be keeping it trickle charged off the AC that's coming into the house. I'm going to build me, or find something on eBay, a 100 volt DC supply that's rated around 4 or 5 amps, something that's capable of delivering a couple of good 100 watts. Because the solar controller, it's not going to know the difference if it's 100 volts filtered DC coming off of a power supply or the solar panels. And the good thing about the solar controller is it's made to do what, guys? It's made to charge them batteries. It's made to bulk charge them, and it's also made to float charge them. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better battery charger than that. Now, the other mode that I will use will be the wood gasifier, because I will be out here during the hot months and some cold months. There may be time that I'm in here and that I want to run an AC window unit, and I'll be running that off the inverter, and that will suck some power. So when I use that, I'll use the wood gasifier. That way I know that I'll be able to easily deliver 100 amps to those batteries. So that way I'll be able to keep the batteries topped off with the alternator, and just like the solar controller, it's made for what? It's made to charge deep cycle and car batteries and everything else. So that'll be a perfect marriage right there. Now, this is going to be, as far as the solar goes, as far as the DC side of it goes, the batteries are going to be a 12 volt system, and I've got 8 6-volt batteries, so I'll be running them in pairs of 2s, run 4 pairs of that. So I have a lot of current to work with. As far as my controller goes, it's able to take 110 volts DC at 40 amps, so that'll be plenty to work with as far as what goes to charge the batteries up. I'm good there. And as far as the inverter goes, I've got a pure sine wave inverter. It's 3,000 watts continuous, 6,000 watt surge, so that'll pretty much handle a window unit or any other thing that needs to have a inrush of current starting on it. Now, the good thing about it is I'll be able to send this power back to the house during an emergency. I'll be able to backwash it right into the house. The only thing is I won't be able to run a heat pump with it, because this is only going to be a 110 volt system. Now, down the road, or as this system grows and I get more fluid with what I want to do with it, I may go totally off grid. But during an emergency situation, I could go off grid with it. Believe me, I could live out in the woods in a tent if I had to. So, you know, I could do without some of the creature comforts. But in the meantime, I do have emergency power. That'll be the least of my concerns right there. And that inverter will run every single thing in the house, such as refrigerators, televisions, all the lights, and even a window unit if I had to have some emergency cool air in there, just say, like I said, if the grid went down. But that's my plan, guys. So this building here will be totally off grid, with the exception that I run a trickle charge into it just to keep the batteries topped off. I'll let you see inside of it here real quick, and we'll wrap this video up. Okay, watch your step. Plenty of room in here for a shop, guys, no doubt about that. I've got to get in here and wire up my AC receptacles and everything, then I'll insulate it. And I'm not going to put up sheetrock. What I am going to do is get that, the 1/4-inch press board and put that up to keep everything in place. Then I'll paint that white so that I have a nice bright surface in here, because these days I need a lot of light to read by and everything else. And if I make it nice and bright in here, that'll make my life easier, especially when I'm working on tiny electronic stuff. But on this side of it over here, I'm going to set up my electronics workbench, and it'll extend, I don't know, it'll be almost 12 feet, probably like 10 feet, and to come out, because I got a lot of test equipment, guys, a lot. So I'm going to set up a professional setup to work on stuff with, and I'll turn back around and put my parts over here in bins when I get everything set up. On this side is going to be for the stuff where you drill things and beat things with hammers and all that good stuff, and I'm going to put a heavy duty bench here up, and he'll extend from all the way across to this window right here. And I'll make sure to beef it up really good so that I can put an elephant on it. And when I set that up, that'll be for my tabletop drill press, along with any other manual tools where you're beating things, drilling things, slicing, cutting, or whatever. There is no play anywhere on this building. I've been inside of it jumping up and down, making sure that there was no, crickle crackles in the floor or anything felt like it wasn't bounced off in here. So it's good and tight. But I am going to be adding 3 extra jacks to this just for nothing else, peace of mind. It's the kind of jacks you use under old buildings where you leave them permanently. They got the threaded screw piece on it that you spin up until it gets to where you want it. I'm going to put 3 up here on this side or over here, and then once I do that, like I said, the only way this building is leaving is if it's going to be a Wizard of Oz scene, and if that's the case, well, I won't be around to tell the tale, will I? So there it is, guys. Anyhow, give me some opinions, give me some ideas. I'm always willing to listen here, and I'm pretty happy with it. I plan on making this project move fast because I want to move in here as quickly as I can and set up house and get my shop and stuff going. Guys, it's amazing what underpinning does for a building. It definitely added a sparkle to it. I did get under here and I put a lot more support underneath the floor. So that was a project that I wanted to take on, and that's done. I just put up lattice around the building here so that it doesn't look like it's just sitting up here all crooked and everything. Besides that, my insurance company would demand it, so there you go. But it's up. And I actually went today and I got a whole bunch of materials. We'll take a quick look in here one more time before I turn this into a YouTube video. I'm not going to be putting up any kind of sheetrock or anything. Like I said, this is a workshop. I hope I don't have to live in this thing. But anyhow, 1/4-inch press board. That's going to be my shop walls right there. I've got all my stuff for wall sockets, light switches, and all that good stuff to make this thing come alive. I've got to go get about 8 more rolls of insulation, and then I can start on this puppy. But there it is. The next video you guys see, hopefully I have the whole thing completed on the inside. Once I get this done, then I'm ready to move on to extending this thing out the back so that I can go ahead and get my solar wood gas project set up, because that's really what I want to get done just as quickly as I can. But there you go. So I'll go ahead and mix this video down and let you guys see where I'm at so far.